Imagine walking into your favorite steakhouse on Christmas Eve, the place glowing with holiday lights, smelling like pine and roasted garlic, and the waiter greets you by name like you're a VIP. But your own parents look at your child and say, cold as ice, "Tell him to order off the kids' menu. We're not paying for anything extra tonight." Your little boy just stares at his lap while his cousins order filet mignon with all the bells and whistles. If you've ever been the family ATM, the one who shows up, pays up, shuts up, while your own kid gets treated like an afterthought, drop your story in the comments right now. I read every single one. And if stories about finally standing up for yourself and your children hit home, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. My name is Jessica Harper. I'm 43, a senior project manager in Seattle. I've spent my entire adult life being the responsible one, the sister who never says no, the daughter who fixes everything, until one holiday dinner changed that forever. Growing up in Tacoma, I was the straight-A kid who never caused trouble. I mowed lawns, babysat, saved every penny from my summer jobs. My younger brother Ethan? 3 years behind me and living on easy mode from day one. At 17, he totaled mom's minivan doing donuts in a parking lot. Punishment? A brand new Jeep Wrangler the next month because he needed reliable transportation for college. I was still driving the '98 Honda Civic I'd bought myself with cash. When Ethan flunked out of community college after one semester, Mom and Dad paid for a gap year in Australia, surf lessons, hostel stays, the works. I worked 30 hours a week at a coffee shop while carrying a full course load to graduate debt-free with a computer science degree. They sent a card to my graduation. "Proud of you, Jess." They were in Hawaii celebrating Ethan's new chapter. After college, I moved to Seattle, climbed the ladder fast. By 30, I was making six figures, bonuses on top. Ethan bounced between barista gigs, music, projects, and couch surfing. Whenever he ran dry, Mom called. "Jess, can you spot him a few hundred, just until his next paycheck?" I always did. When Dad's back went out and he couldn't work construction anymore, I covered the mortgage difference, $1,200 a month. No big deal, I told myself. When Ethan's girlfriend got pregnant with twins, I sent $15,000 for the down payment on their townhouse so the babies wouldn't start life in an apartment. When Mom wanted breast implants for her 55th birthday, I paid the surgeon. When Ethan's truck got repossessed, I bought him a used Tacoma so he could get back on his feet. I kept a private Google sheet tracking every transfer, dates, amounts, purposes. Over 8 years, it quietly climbed past $180,000. Never once did I mention the total, never asked for a dime back. I met Daniel at a tech meetup in Bellevue 9 years ago. We bonded over bad conference coffee and late-night debugging sessions. He proposed on a rainy ferry ride to Bainbridge Island. We got married in a small backyard ceremony. Mom cried happy tears. Dad gave a toast about how I'd always been the rock. Ethan showed up late, hungover, and asked if we could help with gas money on the way out. Daniel noticed everything. The constant Venmo requests, the way I'd tense up when my phone buzzed on family Zoom calls. One night, after I'd just covered Ethan's $4,000 ER bill for a snowboarding accident, Daniel sat me down. "Jess, you're allowed to have boundaries. You're not their personal bank." I laughed it off. It's family. They'll figure it out eventually. But deep down, his words stuck. Our son Noah changed the math. Noah is 10 now, quiet, curious, obsessed with building Lego Technic machines and reading about deep-sea exploration. He notices everything. Last summer, he won his school's engineering challenge with a solar-powered water purifier he built from scratch. He carried that ribbon home like it was gold. We drove straight to Mom and Dad's to show them. Mom glanced at it, said, "That's cute," then spent 20 minutes bragging about Ethan's oldest boy, Tyler, who scored the winning goal in his U12 soccer tournament. Dad pulled up YouTube clips of the game on his phone. Noah stood there, holding his ribbon, smile fading inch by inch. I felt it in my chest like a door slamming shut. A few months later, Noah had his first piano recital. He'd practiced Fur Elise every afternoon for weeks. Daniel and I sat front row, filming on both phones. The seats I'd reserved for Mom and Dad stayed empty. I texted, "Recital started, where are you?" No reply. After the performance, Noah scanned the audience, eyes hopeful, then walked over and whispered, "Did Grandma and Grandpa get lost?" I lied and said traffic. He nodded, but he knew. The very next weekend, we all went to Tyler's championship soccer game. Mom and Dad arrived at 8 a.m. with team snacks, custom t-shirts, even a banner. They posted stories the whole match. Our superstar grandson. Noah saw the posts on my phone later that night. He didn't say anything, just closed the app and went to his room. That week, he stopped practicing piano. When I asked why, he shrugged. Doesn't matter. It mattered. It mattered more than anything. On Noah's 10th birthday, we had cake at home, just us three. He blew out candles, made a wish, opened the new robotics kit Daniel and I got him. The next afternoon, we visited my parents. Noah carried a handmade card he'd drawn, all of us together under a big sun, labeled Best Family. Mom opened it, smiled thinly, said, "How sweet." Then she handed Tyler a massive Lego Star Destroyer set he'd asked for, $180 retail. Noah looked from the box to me. His eyes asked the question he was too polite to voice. I felt sick. A couple weeks later, in the car after school drop-off, Noah asked quietly, "Mom, why do Grandma and Grandpa love Tyler and the twins more than me?" His voice was so small, it cracked something inside me. I pulled into a parking lot, turned off the engine, looked him in the eyes. "They love you, baby. They just show it differently." He stared out the window, didn't answer. That night, I sat on the hallway floor outside his bedroom and cried until my throat hurt. I'd spent decades swallowing the unfairness for myself. Watching it land on my gentle, brilliant boy, that was a line I couldn't uncross. Fast forward to Christmas Eve dinner at the Metropolitan Grill, our family's traditional spot. The place was magical. White lights draped everywhere, live piano playing carols, the smell of seared steak and rosemary. We walked in, and the host lit up when he saw me. "Miss Harper, your usual booth by the window is ready." He'd been seating me for years, business lunches, client dinners, the occasional solo steak when I needed to think. He handed me the leather-bound premium menu first, the one with market-price Wagyu and vintage wines. My parents froze mid-step. Ethan raised an eyebrow. Noah stayed quiet beside me. We sat. Drinks arrived. Then Dad leaned forward, voice low and matter-of-fact. "Jessica, when Noah orders, keep it simple, off the children's menu. We're not covering extras tonight." Like he was reminding me to bring in the mail. Noah's fingers tightened on the edge of his kids' menu. He didn't look up. The server turned to Ethan. My brother grinned and started ordering for his kids like it was Christmas morning. "Tyler will have the 12-ounce filet, medium rare, with lobster mac on the side. The twins want the king crab legs, extra drawn butter. And yeah, sparkler desserts for all three. Make it a show." The server nodded politely, glanced at me. I looked at Noah. My boy was staring at the tablecloth, shoulders rounded like he was trying to disappear. I swallowed the burning in my throat and said, "He'll have the grilled cheese and fries from the kids section." Mom gave a small approving nod. Dad clapped Tyler on the back. "That's my guy, going big." Ethan laughed, ruffled the twins' hair. The food started coming. Appetizers first. Chilled shrimp tower for the adults, calamari for the kids. Then mains. Tyler's filet arrived sizzling, juices pooling. The twins attacked their crab legs with plastic bibs and tiny mallets, giggling as butter dripped. Their desserts came last. 3 massive plates. Molten chocolate cake, creme brulee, New York cheesecake, each topped with a lit sparkler spinning sparks into the air. The whole dining room turned. People clapped. Phones flashed. Noah's grilled cheese landed quietly. Plain plate, small pile of fries, no fanfare. He picked at one corner, head down. I watched my son shrink while everyone else celebrated someone else's children. And in that glittering, laughing room, something inside me finally broke clean in half. I set my napkin down, slowly, deliberately. Noah looked up, eyes wide and uncertain. I gave him the smallest smile and whispered, "Hey, buddy, let's go." He slid out of the booth without a sound, clutching his little drawing he'd brought to show Grandma. We walked past the sparkling tree, past the piano player, past the happy families. The host caught my eye, concern flickering, but I just nodded tightly and kept moving. Outside, the Seattle rain was coming down in silver sheets. Daniel had the car idling at the curb, heat blasting. He opened the back door for Noah, then looked at me. What happened in there? I slid in beside our son. Noah leaned into me immediately, head on my shoulder. My voice came out steady, but thin. They told me to order him something cheap, said they weren't covering him tonight. Daniel's jaw tightened. He didn't speak, just put the car in drive. As we pulled away from the curb, streetlights streaking across the wet windows, I pulled out my phone, opened the banking app. My hands weren't shaking anymore. They were calm, too calm. First, the emergency credit card I'd given Mom and Dad 6 years ago, just in case. Declined at every swipe from now on. Click. Confirmed. Card frozen. Next, the family cell plan I'd carried for all of them. Ethan, Mom, Dad. 4 lines. Cancelled. Click. Then, the gym membership Mom used 3 times a month. Gone. The premium cable package Dad watched Mariners games on. Gone. The lawn service I'd started paying when Dad's back gave out. Gone. I opened my spreadsheet, the one I'd never shown anyone, scrolled to the bottom. $187,342. 17 seconds of scrolling. Money from overtime, promotions, skipped vacations, money I'd earned while they spent. Daniel glanced in the rear view. "You're doing it." Not a question. "Yeah," I said. "They said they're not covering Noah tonight, so tonight they cover themselves." Noah lifted his head just enough to whisper, "Mom, are we in trouble?" I kissed the top of his head. "No, baby, we're free."
We got home that night and Noah went straight to his room. No questions, no tears, just quiet. Daniel made him hot cocoa with extra marshmallows, the way he likes it when the world feels too big. I sat on the edge of Noah's bed while he sipped, staring at the Lego city he'd been building for months, pieces scattered across the floor like tiny broken promises. "Mom," he said finally, voice barely above a whisper, "did I do something wrong?" I pulled him into my lap, something I hadn't done since he turned 8, and held him tight. "No, baby, you did everything right. This isn't about you, it's about grown-ups who forgot how to be fair." He nodded against my chest, then fell asleep, still holding the mug. I carried him to bed, tucked the blanket around his shoulders, and kissed his forehead. For the first time in years, tucking him in didn't come with a knot of guilt in my stomach. Back in the living room, Daniel was waiting with 2 glasses of red wine. He handed me one without a word. We sat on the couch in the dark, city lights flickering through the rain-streaked windows. "You really canceled everything?" he asked softly. "Everything I could from my phone," I said. "The rest I'll handle tomorrow. Auto payments, joint accounts, the works." He took my hand. "I'm proud of you, Jess, but it's going to get ugly." "I know." The storm hit the next morning before I'd even finished my coffee. First text from Mom at 7:12 a.m. "Jessica Marie Harper, what is going on? My card was declined at Safeway. The cashier looked at me like I was stealing. Call me now." Then Dad at 7:19. "Country Club just emailed. Membership suspended. This some kind of joke? Call your mother." Ethan at 7:45. "Jess, seriously? The kids' tablets aren't working. No Wi-Fi because the internet bill bounced. Tyler's crying. Fix this." I let them stack up. Dozens of messages. Voicemails piling in my inbox like unread bills. I didn't open a single one. Instead, I forwarded the whole thread to my lawyer, the one I'd quietly consulted 2 years earlier after Daniel suggested it just in case. Her name was Maria. Sharp, no nonsense, specializes in family financial disputes. I'd kept her card in my wallet like a talisman. By noon, the tone had shifted from angry to panicked. "Mom, please, honey. Dad's blood pressure is through the roof. We can't even get groceries. I'm begging you." "Dad, if this is about the dinner, we were just trying to keep things even. Don't punish the whole family." "Ethan, look, I'm sorry if the kids ordering big bothered you, but canceling the cell plan? Mom can't reach me if something happens to the twins. This is cruel, Jess." Cruel. That word landed like a slap. I stared at it for a long minute, then typed one reply to all 3 group texts I'd never left.
I'm done covering expenses that were never agreed to be permanent. No more transfers, no more emergency cards, no more explanations. Please don't contact me again unless it's life or death. And even then, call 911 first. I hit send. Then I blocked their numbers, all 3. The group chat vanished. My phone went silent for the first time in over a decade. Maria called that afternoon. "You did the nuclear option," she said, half amused, half impressed. "Smart, but expect pushback. They'll try indirect routes, mutual friends, holidays, maybe even showing up at your door. Document everything, and if they escalate to harassment, we file for a restraining order tomorrow." I thanked her and hung up. Then I spent the rest of the day tying off loose ends. I called the mortgage company. Yes, I'd been covering the shortfall for 2 years. No, I wouldn't resume. I emailed the gym, the cable provider, the lawn service, the cell carrier. Each confirmation email felt like cutting another rope that had been binding me for years. The fallout came in waves over the next weeks. First, the house. Mom and Dad's big rambler in Tacoma, the one with the view of the Sound, the deck where we'd had every summer barbecue. The bank sent them a notice of default. 3 months behind, 30 days to cure or foreclosure proceedings begin. A mutual friend, someone I'd known since high school, texted me from a new number. "Your parents are selling the house. Your mom was crying at book club. They're moving to an apartment near Ethan's place. Thought you should know." I read it, felt a flicker of something. Pity? Regret? Then deleted the message and blocked that number too. Ethan's family downsized fast. The townhouse went on the market. They sold the extra TV, the sectional sofa, even the kids' trampoline. Ethan picked up night shifts at a warehouse to make rent. The kids missed soccer camp that summer. Tyler posted a sad selfie on Instagram with the caption, "Wish things were different." I saw it through a friend's story before blocking that account too. Mom started working part-time at a craft store, folding sweaters, ringing up yarn. Dad got his commercial driver's license renewed and started driving for a delivery service. Long hours, low pay. They posted occasional vague Facebook updates about starting fresh and family challenges. No tags, no direct mentions, but everyone knew. The guilt hit me hardest around week 4. I'd wake up at 3 a.m., heart racing, wondering if I'd destroyed them, wondering if Noah would grow up hating me for cutting off his grandparents. I'd scroll old photos, Christmas mornings, birthday cakes, Noah as a toddler on Dad's shoulders, and the ache would settle deep in my ribs. Daniel caught me one night staring at my laptop, tears on the keyboard. He closed the screen gently. "You're not the villain here, Jess. You just stopped playing a role that was killing you slowly. And Noah sees it. He smiles more now. He talks more. He doesn't flinch when the phone rings." He was right. Noah started sleeping through the night again. No more bad dreams about being left behind. He joined the school's robotics team and came home every Tuesday buzzing about code and servos. One evening, he won a regional qualifier with a bot that could sort colored blocks by weight. He ran through the front door screaming, "Mom, we beat the high school team!" I hugged him so hard he laughed and said, "You're squishing my trophy." We celebrated with pizza and root beer floats. No interruptions, no guilt texts, just us. Spring came early that year. We moved to a townhouse in Bellevue, closer to my office, better schools, a backyard big enough for Noah's growing Lego empire. Moving day was chaos and laughter, boxes everywhere, Noah directing traffic like a tiny foreman. Daniel and I stole kisses behind stacked furniture when Noah wasn't looking. The new place had tall windows that let in morning light, A small deck where I could drink toffee and watch fairies cross the sound in the distance. No echoes of old obligations, no waiting for the next crisis call. Noah thrived. New school, new friends who geeked out over the same things he did. He started violin lessons, something he'd wanted since he was 7, but we'd never had time for because of family stuff. His first recital was in May. Daniel and I sat front row. No empty seats this time. When Noah finished his piece, the audience clapped hard. He bowed shyly, then looked straight at us and grinned, the biggest, brightest smile I'd seen in years.
Afterward, we went for ice cream. Noah got triple scoop, mint chip, cookie dough, and rainbow sprinkles. He talked non-stop about the next piece he wanted to learn. I watched him lick chocolate off his fingers and realized something. This was peace. Real, quiet, earned peace. Daniel and I started dating again, properly. Weekend hikes in the Cascades, late-night movies after Noah was asleep. We laughed more, argued less, made plans without checking if they conflicted with someone else's emergency. One evening in June, after Noah's robotics team won second place at state, we sat on the deck watching the sunset turn the water gold. Noah was inside building his victory bot. Daniel turned to me and said, "You know what the best part is?" I raised an eyebrow. "You stopped apologizing for existing, for succeeding, for protecting our kid. That's not revenge, Jess. That's freedom." I leaned my head on his shoulder. "It still hurts sometimes." "It will, but the hurt gets smaller, and the good gets bigger." He was right again. Months passed. No contact, no holiday cards, no surprise visits. The silence became normal, comfortable. I stopped bracing for the phone to ring, stopped checking my spam folder for hidden pleas. Last Christmas, our first without the Metropolitan Grill, without the tension, we stayed home, just the three of us. We decorated a tiny tree Noah picked out, baked cookies, watched old movies. Noah got the new Lego Millennium Falcon he'd been saving pictures of for months. He built it over 2 days, tongue poking out in concentration. When he finished, he placed it proudly on the shelf and said, "This is ours, no sharing." I laughed until I cried. That night, after he went to bed, Daniel and I sat by the fireplace with hot toddies. I looked around at our little home, messy, warm, completely ours, and felt the last piece click into place. Family isn't about who pays the most. It's not about who shows up with the biggest gift or the deepest wallet. It's about who sees you, who values you, who protects your heart, even from other family. I protected Noah's, I protected mine, and in doing that, I protected the life we were always meant to have. If you're still watching, if any of this feels like your life, the endless giving, the quiet resentment, watching your own child get pushed to the side, hear me when I say you can stop. You don't have to explode everything at once like I did, but you can start small. Say no once. Protect your peace once. Choose your kid once. It gets easier. The guilt fades. The freedom grows. Thank you for listening to the whole story. It wasn't easy to tell, but if it gives even one person the courage to draw that line, then every hard moment was worth it. If you made it this far, drop a heart in the comments. Tell me, have you ever had to cut ties to protect your peace, or are you still in the middle of it? I read every comment. And if you want more real, raw stories about family, boundaries, and finally choosing yourself, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the bell. Next one drops soon. Until then, take care of you and your kids. They deserve it.